Hi there friends, this is going to be a project update and maintenance day on the T100 that I just got back, and you will see in a very short time why I just got it back. But I'm going to start tackling some of the boxes that I've had sitting in the garage for about a month and a half now, and we're going to start taking care of some of the engine stuff because we're going to go on a drive here pretty soon to get bumpers. So I got to make sure that I'm fully prepared for that before I hit the road. And we're going to go ahead and jump right to it. But before I do that, I do have to do something that I have not done yet, and that is I'm going to do a call to action. I have some questions that I want answered by people who have Toyotas or have T100s in particular, because I need some advice in the comments. I have a 24-gallon tank, as all T100s do. This is the 3.4 liter 5VZ FE V6. It is fuel injected, of course. And I have noticed that my fuel gauge rides very, very, very close to the line of being a quarter full at about 130 miles. That's just absurd. That can't be right. I've done the math a couple of times, and I'm getting about 17 miles per gallon, so I should not be hitting that 1/4 mark until I have like 280-ish miles. So for anybody who has one of these older rigs where you have the older fuel gauge, where it is not the analog twist, it's more of the slider. If you can tell me if you're experiencing or have experienced anything like that, and if there's a way to rectify it other than just dropping the tank. So let me know in the comments, please. I'd super appreciate it. Other than that, let's jump into it. Let me show you what I'm working on, and then let's get started. I did make a little bit of a mess here because the garage is full of projects, but I do have a fix-it kit for my high lift jack. I will be rebuilding that as soon as the paint dries. It should be dry now. It's been a couple of coats over a couple of days. But this is a jack that was an older one that was on my trailer when I purchased it, and all of the older hardware was pretty deteriorated, and I trust these jacks with my life, but I only do so if the hardware is in good working order and the step pins are not worn down or broken. So I've got some new hardware, and I'm going to put this thing back together, and then I'm probably going to make a video showing you how to use these jacks, because I do not think you need to be afraid of them. I think you need to respect them and know how to use them. So I'm going to make a couple videos in the future, and this jack will definitely be in there because I have some big things coming. So that's project 1. What you'll notice for project 2, and the reason that I just got this thing back, is because I have rock sliders with integrated quarter panel and side buffering tubes. I don't know what you want to call them. They're side tubes. And I have them welded in this way specifically so that I can use this as a ladder to step up into the back of the truck, because I am not a tall dude, and this thing is about to be lifted a couple of inches. So I do have full length. I did go just to the front and rear of the wheel wells there. And that's so if I go with a larger tire that I hopefully won't be rubbing, because I did rub a tiny bit and have to do a little bit of cutting. I don't know how well you're going to see it, but I'm going to take care of that, uncrank the torsion bars, and get back on the road. And I am super impressed with the way that these turned out. I do have good clearance for the door. I know it looks kind of close, but when you look right at it, I mean, that's very close. And then if I actually open the door, look at that. That is a great fitment all the way around. And then on the driver's side, if we walk around, you will notice that the way that the step is built gives me perfect access to my fuel door. So I'm pretty impressed with these. I like having rock sliders. I've been in some bad spots where I've come down on a stump pretty hard, and I think that they're a pretty necessary evil for people who are shorter to try and get up onto their roof or try and get up into their bed in deep snow. And I'm super happy with the way that they turned out. And with the way that I'm thinking about building the rear bumper, I think that it will look really good when it's all said and done. For the projects that I have today, let me just show you what I've got. So I did get some of the low range 1.5 ball joint spacers, and then I do have a full set of upper and lower ball joints with all the hardware. These are to reduce the amount of stress that I'm putting on the front torsion bars right now. This thing rides like a piece of plywood going down grade 5 rapids. So it is not enjoyable to drive right now. But if I put a little bit of space between the top upper control arm and the lower control arm, which the torsion bars on this vehicle are connected to the upper control arm, I should be able to loosen the stress and keep the same height that I need. As far as the rears, what I've been looking forward to, and you can actually see them right there, are new shackles. These are a larger shackle than comes factory. These are the trail gear shackles. These are a 6.5. These factory are a 4.5. And it's kind of hard to see. I don't know if you'll be able to, but the bushings in those shackles are absolutely shot. I needed new shackles really, really bad, and I am hoping that these trail gear shackles, which are much bigger and much beefier, will be a good fit. I do have some spacers to make up the difference here, so I will obviously show that when it's all said and done, but that is definitely going to be an upgrade, and they do come with greasable bolts, so that is good. Next is the CVs. Those need to go in. When I have the front end taken apart for the ball joints, I will put the CVs in there. Obviously everything for an oil change. And then I do have everything for doing a thermostat change. This is a factory Toyota thermostat. I will throw the part number down in the description below. There you can see 90916 03075. So that is the part number for the thermostat on the 5VZ. These do not come with a seal, so I have opted for the Felpro. I have been told that this fits, and I have checked it. It does look like it fits to me, so we'll go ahead and get the coolant drained, and we'll get a new thermostat in there, because I believe that is why I was throwing the P0125 code. So we just went over a lot of stuff. I'm gonna start getting to it. I'm running out of daylight, so I will catch you guys on the other side. Well, I was planning on doing a time lapse, but I have a little bit of a blockage right in the bottom of my radiator, right where the little spigot comes out. And it is causing it to, when I remove the cap, blow water all over the ground back there. So it's not really as smooth as I was hoping it would be. I'm assuming it has something to do with the fact that this is an older brass radiator, and I think at one point there was just some water ran through here. So the real big indicator is going to be when we take off. Kind of hard to see, but it is right down there. If I pull the belt aside, that housing right there. So when I get to that housing, that is where the thermostat goes. I will hopefully take it apart and see nothing disgusting under there. The coolant that's coming out looks fine, clear. I don't see any problems with it. I think I'll just have to remove that blockage, and then we will go from there. Take note, when you remove thermostats in your own vehicles, at least for Toyotas, they do have a top and a bottom. There's a little pin, and I will show that in a second. But yeah, that's the housing. Those are some 12mm bolts, and it should come off nice and easy. Hopefully there's nothing crazy sealant keeping it down. It does look like it was taken off once before. Kind of hard to tell, but this hose should be attached on the threading for the housing. So we'll take it apart, we'll see what it looks like, and we'll go from there. All right, catch you in a few. So while that's still draining, I thought I would show you what the factory thermostat looks like in all its glory. And I did already install the Felpro gasket on there. And you can see, ooh, I don't know if it's gonna focus. Right there at the very top, there is a little Toyota logo. So this is actually a Toyota factory thermostat, and the little pin that you see, that you can maybe hear, jiggling around right there, that is actually how you know the direction that this is supposed to go. Now, I'm going to refer to another video that I watched many, many years ago from the Toyota man, and he put his upright, and I'm going to make sure that that's still correct for this particular vehicle. So I will check back in, and I will let you guys know. Thanks. All right, folks, forgive the horrible angle, but you can see that I did pop the thermostat housing off, and the thermostat is sitting right there, and I tried to get the GoPro down in there to give you a better shot, but it's just not something that I can do with the space. But if you look right at the top there at the 12 o'clock position, that little pin is sticking up. So we know that it does need to stick up when I put the new thermostat in. So I'm gonna pop the thermostat out, the failed one. I'm gonna put my thermostat in there, my Toyota one, and then we are going to crank those housing bolts back down to 14 foot-pounds, or to be more specific, I'm going to do 168 inch-pounds. So I will see you guys on the other side. And there you have it, friends. We're all put back together. I have filled her up, burped the system of all the air, and ran it for about 3 minutes. I didn't see any major leaks. Obviously, you can see some wetness right here. I always spill a little bit of coolant. But yeah, no problems so far. Hoping that that will fix my P0125 check engine light. I have a feeling that the previous thermostat was stuck open. Regardless, it looked like it needed a coolant flush anyways. I have taken care of the small issue that I had with the drain plug. Everything's back together, no leaks. So I'm going to start working on the oil now, and I will catch you guys in a little bit. Alrighty, friends, I am done with the oil change. I noticed that there is kind of a big mess under the truck. If you look at the lower bar here for the independent front suspension, kind of dirty, and that is because my previous oil filter, not my nice new Denso one, but my previous one was leaking pretty bad. So glad I got that taken care of. This engine, for anybody wondering, does call specifically for 530, and it calls, I'm using this SAE 530 high mileage. This stuff is rated for 150,000 plus. I have I have double that, but I've been using Valvoline oils for a long time, and they seem to be doing good. I change my oil very frequently, though. I change my oil every 3,200 miles. So anyways, this takes 5.5 quarts. That's the same for all 3.4s, whether you're in a Tacoma, a 4Runner, the first gen Tundra 2-wheel drives, or the T100s. They all take the same amount, 5.5 quarts. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up here, take my oil over to the oil recyclers, and get cleaned up. As far as my face goes, because I have oil all over my face from where that old filter was leaking. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. I've got obviously quite a bit more content coming out. I'll keep you guys updated as I get further along. And I don't usually do this, but I'm going to throw in my little title cards somewhere around here. But please go ahead and comment and subscribe. I'm starting to build a little bit of a following, and it lets me know if I am producing the right kind of content for you guys, or if this is more of a project for me in my own notebook. So anyways, thanks again for watching. Thanks for sticking around. I'm having a lot of fun working on this truck, and I've got a lot more to come. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.